PinkPantheress. So here's a great piece that I came across recently in The Face magazine. This is called PinkPantheress, Obsessed with You. So the first great TikTok artist has arrived, building an army of devoted fans while maintaining mystique in an age of constant sharing. PinkPantheress draws on the past to create a sound that might just be the future. There's a couple interesting quotes from this piece that we are going to dissect. So let's see. This piece is written by, the words are by Hannah Ewens. I like how it starts. But there's a caveat. Here's the opening. Here's the third paragraph. The ethereal clothes she usually wears suit her, long skirts and flowing sleeves. TikTok has completely ruined the word ethereal. You see it in every 10th TikTok. Everyone's talking about ethereal this, ethereal that. It's a cool word, ethereal. It means, the ether, sort of extraterrestrial. What does ethereal actually mean? Ethereal means extremely delicate and light in a way that seems not to be of this world. So it's a great word, but I think it's been overused. It's lost its what would you say? It's just been overused. I'm tired of seeing it. So that's my only complaint. But anyway, next sentence. They match the almost full moon eyes on a Victorian Gothic face. That is a nice sentence. The ethereal clothes she usually wears suit her, long skirts and flowing sleeves. They match the almost full moon eyes on a Victorian Gothic face. That's quite cool. Full moon eyes, Victorian Gothic face. That's nice. By sparking excitement about what music can be in a tech-led youth culture while cloaked in mystery herself, she achieved what other emerging artists hadn't in a while. To critics, millennials, and especially Gen Zers, PinkPantheress was undeniably cool. This is pretty, and it goes on to some of her background. It's actually pretty interesting. She does have this cool factor, which is hard to put your finger on. It's that cliche French phrase, the je ne sais quoi. She's got this je ne sais quoi, which is alluring. If you look at, I saw someone commenting on one of the Kardashians on one of these magazine covers. And it was a cool cover, whatever, but their take was, there's just something kind of uncool about them. Kendall, Kylie, Kim, they don't really, you see a bit of their personality every now and then when they kind of drop the media spiel. They're kind of uptight, they're blank robot answers, and they kind of let loose a little bit. You see a bit of personality, which is great, but they don't really have this. They're not cool chicks. They don't have this kind of edge, and this chick has it. She's got this certain something, and that's why you see, I think, so many people across culture. One of my great role models and professional inspirations, Louise Shen, Paris. I suppose she's in London now, but DJ. Who lived a while in Paris and now she's in London. She was talking about, I saw on her Instagram story, I'm heading to my gig. Anybody got the unreleased club edits on the new PinkPantheress? She wants the full length PinkPantheress remixes, which was funny. So she's got her finger on the pulse in a way that a lot of people are really taking notice. She reminds me of Tyler the Creator in that sense. It always is really interesting to me to see that Tyler the Creator, when he posts photos on Instagram, just the people who like his pics, it's funny because, I follow lots of different people online. Tyler the Creator, almost possibly more so than anyone else I follow, consistently gets, 20, 30 likes across my pool of people I follow, meaning, everyone from a French art director to a Chinese actress to a Japanese artisan, all these different people to a rapper in Atlanta, all these different groups which don't really have anything to do with each other are liking his pics. He's got this, everyone, lots of people really fuck with him. And she's got this certain something too. This is pretty interesting. She recognizes that her glow up was quick, she says, but I'm impatient and didn't want to wait around. I didn't want to be a developing artist. I wanted to be developed. If a 15-second snippet got a positive reaction, she'd bill it out to a short piece of work and release it to SoundCloud. To her, TikTok is an excellent way to know if music is actually good. If 15 seconds doesn't capture a teenager's imagination, a full-length track never will. That's pretty interesting. I know as a as a guy who's sort of anti-streaming and always, is really enamored with the whole record culture and vinyl and hi-fi and this kind of really sentimental and really intentional relationship that lots of people have with their music, who don't, they think that Spotify's evil and they don't want to give them any money, and they go out and they always want to put money directly in people's pockets, right? Bandcamp Fridays, vinyl stores, all this kind of stuff. I do kind of turn my nose up at some of these. I think my initial reaction when I started hearing about, just this take right here. TikTok is an excellent way to know if music isn't actually good. If 15 seconds doesn't capture teenagers' imagination, a full-length track never will. You can look at that two ways. One is that we as audiences, I guess my generation, is so impatient that we if a song doesn't slap immediately in the first 15, 20 seconds, right? If the beat doesn't come in, there's some joke about, DaBaby, he comes in before the beat even comes in. It's just like immediately DaBaby's rapping in your face. Same thing with lots of these new songs, these new tracks. Because we have so many options and because streaming is unlimited, it's like if it doesn't immediately get our attention, we're on to the next thing. So from a cynical point of view, it's like, you're losing a sort of, I think that one of the big reasons that people are passionate about vinyl and these more kind of full-length records, right, is that you get to see kind of the artist's holistic vision of their work. Okay, they're leading me on a journey, and it's from, okay, we're starting with track 1 to 2 and we're building, and it's slow. It takes a while, right? It takes an hour or two to get through a vision, an artistic of. And then with TikTok, you're kind of, it's all immediate. It's all marketing driven. It's all, Instagram likes and popularity and just like how can I immediately get your attention? What's interesting about it is that you can almost look at it from the point of view that streaming is kind of ushering in this new era where it's cutting out all the fluff, in the sense that she's saying, if 15 seconds doesn't get anyone's attention, maybe the music is trash, right? Like if 15 seconds is getting the audience's attention and 6 million people are making TikToks with this song, it's a banger. She should develop it out into a full length track. And if it's not, right, if you consider a full length album and the first 30 minutes are god awful or they're boring, and then you finally get the one banger of a tune. That's my point. It's like these full length albums, it's like the artist takes you on this sort of self-satisfying journey. I'm going to take you on this 45-minute artistic vision, somewhat similar to what Kanye is doing with these listening parties and these drawn out kind of events. He's sort of, he's actually doing the same thing. I initially kind of turned my nose up at all of it. I don't really follow him at all. But what he's kind of doing is he's assessing reactions. I initially thought that the listening parties were stupid. What he's doing is he's presenting this unfinished body of work, and he's kind of figuring out, okay, the audience they're tapped in here, they're engaged, and then here they're not, maybe they're not really swaying, they're not really giving me anything, and he's kind of adapting. He's putting it out as an unfinished work, and he's going back to the studio and kind of making tweaks, or maybe building out. Maybe he takes those 3 seconds where people go crazy, and then he ditches the rest of the song and turns that into a whole album. I don't know. So I think that's a bit of what she's doing, and it's really cool. It's really cool. So anyway, I think that's kind of my point, is that maybe not to turn my nose up so much at the TikTok kind of generation and at the TikTok driven music. It's got its own sort of relevance and value. So here's an interesting. So Ewens says, she references another artist. She says, equally, where Harl has witnessed other TikTok artists fail by leaving the app and writing what we think of as proper, i.e. full-length, songs, PinkPantheress has succeeded by writing for the app, for our so-called shorter attention spans, and by taking into account how we listen to and consume music today. We have a strange nostalgic culture at the moment where we're stuck in the beginning of the 21st century in terms of what we think is normal, Harl observes, of our shared understanding of what a musician does, when in fact what PinkPantheress has done is drag us kicking and screaming into the age that we currently live in. Yeah, so pretty interesting stuff. And she maintains quite an air of mystery. I think they were saying at the beginning of the article that she uses fake names. Almost no one in the public sphere really knows what this chick's name is, which is very, very cool. I've talked before in my other videos about the loss of mystery and intrigue. It actually reminds me of, I did some research recently on Honey Dijon for a video that I made about her gig in Madrid. If you are interested, I'll link it. And Honey had this great quote where Honey is a house music DJ and producer who is from the south side of Chicago. And she was talking about how back in her day, house music is a 30-year-old subculture, okay? 30-year-old subgenre, which has now become mainstream. So she says that back in the day, the DJ didn't have such a visibility in the club and in the public eye. The DJ was kind of, you didn't see the DJ. When you walked into the gig, into the club, the DJ was hidden, right? It was about the music. So Honey Dijon gets kind of pissed when everyone's just sort of standing around. She's like, no one's bringing anything to the party anymore, right? Everyone's kind of standing around in these bland clothes, staring at the DJ, and she's like, what is this? This is bullshit. This is not a gig. This is not clubbing. She's like, I don't want you to look at me. Don't look at me. Have fun at the gig. And I tried to do this at a recent gig. I went to Mundo Disco in Madrid at the Honey Dijon gig like a month ago, and I tried to kind of, I like to kind of spin around and see what the crowd is saying and see if there's any spaced out people, chewing their teeth off, spaced out on some drugs. And it's kind of, even just turning around, facing away from the DJ, people kind of, it's weird. It's weird because it's almost like turning around, facing the wrong way in an elevator. It's like no one's doing it. You know what I mean? It'd be cooler if everyone's kind of got their own circles going. And at certain gigs and some festivals, you do get these kind of dance circles, and it's not so much no one's looking at the DJ. Everyone's immersed in the moment. But this was kind of the crowd was fun. The crowd was fun, but that was my only point. So anyway, I think PinkPantheress is totally right, and she's got this mystique and this mystery, and she's taking advantage of our shorter attention spans, which might not necessarily be a bad thing. It might lead to some pretty interesting creative work. So let's keep moving here. So let's see,